Oh, welcome. It's Thursday night, and hey, we might be a few minutes late, but we're still drawing tonight, and that's what matters. What matters is that you show up and you're at the drawing board, and that's what's important. Because guess what? We're hanging out tonight. It's Spilled Ink. Welcome back to the Comix Wellspring live drawing show. I'm so excited to talk about tonight and to talk to our guests and to get situated. We had we had rain, which threw us off. My food was late. I was trying to feed myself before we start hosting for 2 hours. Can't be doing this famished. And those 5 minutes got me a good 1/3 of my Chipotle down, and I'm about to feel amazing in 3 seconds. So, of course, I'm your host, Brandon Bloxdorf. I'm really excited to be. Actually, I was supposed to be inking. I'm going to be lightboarding tonight. This episode should be called Skateboarding or Skateboards, Lightboarding, Lightboxing, and Manga. But hey, we're still catching up on the art. I guess everything's delayed in that sense, but as long as we're getting it done. But with me is my amazing, wonderful, astonishing co-host, Max Flowers. Max, thanks for figuring out the display for tonight. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm gonna be doing some inking, so it's okay.
Okay,
but, yeah. So I'm gonna finish this page up with a little bit of splatter and maybe some white, and then we're gonna be on to inking this.
Oh man, that's gonna be sick. Cool. Yeah. I'll tell you guys about my adventurous why I'm lightboxing once we start the show. But we have some new guests hanging out with us tonight too. So before we get to our new guests, because we're going to talk to them for a minute, we have some returning peeps too. Let's start off with my local buddy, Hobbs Holluck, who's actually doing one of the coolest things we've seen on Spilled Ink. Something I'd expect from Anton out of everybody. But dude, hello. Good evening.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm doing okay. I'm working on a skateboard deck. So somebody else printed this on the skateboard, which is a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles classic vintage toy card art. And so what I'm doing is, I don't know if you can see all the ones. There's going to be 4 pops of different characters. So I'm putting in, but my goal is to paint a different character, a different mutant character in each one. I'm starting with Usagi because he's one of my favorites, but this one's going to be here. Hold on a second. Let me get the. I got Wingnut and Screw Loose. I've got Muckman and Joe Eyeball.
Oh man, that's cool.
I've got Worm.
Oh, that's going to be fun.
That's what I'll be working on.
A lot of fun. Dude, that's so hype. I'm really excited to watch you do that tonight. That's really exciting. And thanks for coming on. There's so much to catch up on too. So
yeah,
especially why you're doing that board, which is exciting. But we got our dude Reece returning. Reece, your book is out. You've been busy. How are you doing? How are you working on tonight?
Man, I feel fantastic, and I'm gonna do something special for the fans. Guys, I always like to come up with something new. So it's 2026. I got this character I was working on earlier today while I'm sitting in the rain up here in New York. Deuces a Wild 2 is out right now, definitely, and it just feels great to be back, man. Welcome back to the fold 2026. Let's go.
I love the hype, dude. You're gonna keep us awake tonight. You're the man, Reece. I can't wait to catch up on everything too. It's been a minute. It's definitely been a minute since we've talked. Well, I'm super glad that you're also healthy and you're doing good right now. You've had a wild year.
Thank you. Yeah,
it makes my heart warm.
always.
And actually, very active Discord member. If you guys aren't a part of our Discord, you guys are missing out because we have a lot of cool stuff going on in there. In fact, you could scan this QR code. Look at me being all fancy with StreamYard now. You could join our Discord and hang out with everyone here and hang out with them, especially our dude Brandon Matthews. Welcome to the show. Thank you for coming on, man. I'm excited. You show off your work so much. I'm so excited to see what you do tonight.
Thanks. This is my first time being on a podcast. I'm a little bit nervous, but I'll wing it.
Dude, it's a cozy time. We're all going to be drawing, making some art, asking some questions, talking about cool little projects. So we'll love to hear about what you're doing in just a little bit and everything you've been up to. I'm so honored that this is your first podcast. I didn't know that. That's so cute. That's so great. I mean, this is a great way to break into it too, because this is probably the most lax show that you'll ever be on. So it's pretty great. But happy that you're here. We have some people in the chat popping up. Art Victim, hello, glad to catch a show. I've been digging the Discord. Thanks for letting me hang. Mon Plates and hello, and our boy Saboteur. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. Also, we have an amazing new guest, Austin Light. Austin, how are you?
Doing great.
What are you working on tonight? You have a lot of stuff going on too. I'm really excited to like talk about and promote as well.
Yeah, I do have a lot going on. But it's one day at a time.
I feel that. What are you doing tonight? What are you drawing?
Well, working on page 32. I might swap to 31 here and there. Of my upcoming issue number 4 for Indie. So.
Ooh, that's cool. That's super exciting. I'd love to talk about your process and like the programs you're using as well too. That's really great.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
I'm excited to be here.
Ah, thank you. Yeah, we have a bunch of stuff planned, so it's going to be really exciting for the next couple hours digging through this. So I was out of town this past weekend. I left on Friday, and so I was in Dallas. I missed Texas. I was in Fort Worth technically, but I didn't want to take an 11x17 board that I started last week on doing pencils. So I went and I traced all of my panels, and I pretty much finished drawing. I just have to light box it onto my 11x17 now. I thought about going straight to inks, but there's some stuff I'm going to kind of change up as I do my pencils again. But I'm going to be light boxing tonight, and I got that new light box I'm really excited about because it's nice and thin, and I found out I could control the brightness, so it's actually a little brighter than I thought it was. I was kind of bummed out, but I just turns out you have to hold down the button, and that fixes everything. So, but I'm working on Stone Wars page, which I'm pretty. Once I do this one, I have one more. I'm going to put it together, hopefully in time for May, which would be exciting. Max, how many pages do you have left in that book you're doing right there?
This one is just a one pager.
Oh, it's a one. What's the next little piece that you're going to be inking? Is that part of it, or is that something separate?
This is a separate thing for a gallery show. It's just
okay, cool.
About the mushrooms that grow here. But yeah. So I'm just adding some white out on this guy to get it finished up and looking nice, and then we'll move on.
Oh, I love it. Well, Brandon Matthews, why don't you talk a little bit about your book that you've been showing off and the pages you're doing today?
My comic, or should I say manga, is called Fullmetal Spectre Blue. It's basically inspired by anime and video games such as Metroid and Tekken Blade and Kamen Rider. Basically, tokusatsu stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So, what issue is this that you're doing technically?
I'm right now. I'm doing issue 3. This is the issue 1 that I'm holding right now.
Oh, tight, man. That's super hype. And so, how many when you're doing this? What you do a lot of digital work, don't you?
Yeah.
What do you use to? What programs are you using?
I use Clip Studio Paint. It's a useful art program. And all of its features is very helpful for me in improving my art style.
That's tight. I've heard a lot about Clip Studio. I haven't tried it. I use Procreate. I think Reece also uses Procreate for the most part.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Austin, is that what you're using for your stuff right now? Is because I didn't recognize the program right off the bat, and it might be just because I don't know Clip Studio.
Yeah, it's Clip Studio.
Ah, nice. Okay, cool. I heard it's a very it's easy to use and get used to. It's probably superior to Procreate in some ways, I'm sure.
I hopped over to it from Photoshop, and Granted, I had not been very far in working in comics when I did that, but I am glad that I made that swap early on.
I feel like that's one of the things too. Is like once you get used to a program, you kind of stick to that and kind of roll with that program from that point on too. I think you're bumping your mic just a little bit. I want to say it's your mic. I feel I'm going by the movements on the trackpad. I think.
My mic?
I think so. Yeah, I'm not too sure, but there's like a little bit of bumpage, or someone's bumping their mic. I'm not directly.
It's the internal mic on my laptop, and that's my laptop is also a tablet. So probably
this makes sense. This makes sense.
Brandon, how you guys are able to show you guys drawing on the stream? Because I like to do the same too.
So, are you using your phone right now?
No, I'm using my laptop.
So I have a webcam set up, but I bet if you turn your laptop just a bit, we could just put it towards your art, and that would totally work fine as well.
Let's see.
Yeah, that definitely work.
All right.
Well, and then we'll let you know if the angle is good too. Well, you can see it as well, but
okay,
it should work out pretty great. And so, Reece, what do you have planned? What are you cooking up? I know you're always. I know you're working on Deuces 3 for a little bit.
All right, so I'm gonna give you guys just a little something, to go on. Shout to all my fans out there that supported the book. So Deuces of Wild is like going totally global, and like I'm totally excited. But not only do I have Deuces of Wild coming out this year, I got Boot Ridge season 1 coming out, which is a comedy special about me, Eddie Cool, and several other members of my friends and family. Then I got Hood Boy 2 coming out, which is a sequel to Hood Boy 1 that came out about 2 years ago. And also got a gallery book coming out this year. Reece 2026 is about to be on fire. Deuces of Wild 3, Fred, come on. You already know how we do. Man, it sells itself. We got action, comedy, drama, everything you want, everything you can have, all in one book. It's like a movie that you sit down and you never want it to end, guys. It's crazy as a scene. I've been having so much fun, man. And there's so many cameos in Deuces of Wild 3 that the first book was I think 40 pages. The second book was 70 pages, and everybody loved it. I was like, I'm about to go insane. Deuces of Wild 3 is going to be 100 pages for all you out there that wants to see how this trilogy is going to be.
Jeez, that's sick. I love. Yeah, I think everyone needs to learn how to hype up their books the way Reece does.
This sounds interesting.
It is, man. It is. Deuces of Wild 3 is about a CIA agent whose brother gets murdered, and he has to do he does a deep dive into finding out what happened, why has his brother been killed. And as he does this, he finds out to his journey is more questions than there are answers. And you just go down the rabbit hole, man. It's got a lot of comedy. I teamed up with the Sports Bros podcast, produced by Eddie Cool, Scotty D, and B Live. Those guys let me, they got to do my first cameo with them in the book. And these guys helped do this. The Sports Bros podcast is an awesome podcast. These guys helped me out, and they gave me opportunity as well to throw in with them. And then last year, I was able to re-release my book after the first episode, and we had Deuces of Wild Reloaded, which blew everybody out the water because whenever you do your first book, whenever you do your first book, you always have this thing where, you're like, oh, I could have did this better, or I could have changed this, or I should have added color here. So I got the opportunity to do that. I got with a colorist that kind of taught me the ways of the world a little bit because I was new to the game. And when they did episode 2, they was like, well, you got to have consistency. And I sit down with my son because, it's a father-son group. Me and my son, we help create all these books together. My son, Nathan, shout out to Nathan, who's going to graduate this year and going to college. Yeah. And we went back and we did Deuces of Wild 1. We got to redraw it, we rewrote it, and we gave you Deuces of Wild Reloaded. So that came out as a double barrel last year at the end of the year as a shotgun. And it was off the chain, man. I'm telling you.
Dude, it was
Sounds
fun seeing
interesting.
that book to come live. Yeah, it's a cool book, man. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, man, I had a lot of fun. And Brandon, hey, shout out to Brandon, guys. Let me tell you something. Brandon's a mastermind when it comes to marketing on the Kickstarters and helping you out, man. Brandon, hey, you're the MVP. Last year, MVP total. You get my vote.
Thanks, man. Yeah, dude, the crowdfunding is rough. Like it's a lot of back and forth, a lot of attempts, like a lot of like, you know, trial and error on some stuff too. You learn a lot of lessons like through each campaign, and the way that landscape kind of transforms every year. It's it's interesting and it's kind of difficult to keep up with it sometimes. I know. I mean, Austin, you have a campaign coming up really soon. Uh, and you're already like you're so much more prepared than I am about campaigns. Like you have so much more done, complete, and like you're actually marketing stuff. Like I respect that.
I appreciate it.
What
Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. My bad.
I was gonna say. I mean, it comes from like I've already did two campaigns, the past 2 years, and you kind of have to like. I mean, you come to learn that you gotta like prepare a lot more. I was lucky on my first two campaigns. I was really lucky. I had a super fan that finished out my first campaign.
Ooh.
And then my second one, I went a little bit more prepared, but I only gave it like an extra month. It's like whenever I could see on the horizon that I was going to finish an issue in like a month or two, that's when I started planning on the campaign. And like
Okay.
that's a mistake. If you really want it to look good and present good, that's the approach that I took this time, and I'm so
Oh, there it is.
excited, and I'm getting prepared. But part
There
of
we
it
go.
is demand that I have to be like prepared because this is going to be a much higher demand on horror. So part of it was just out of necessity. So I gotta really push every little button that I can find.
What were your goals in your first two campaigns? And what's your goal in your new one?
My first two campaigns, the first one was $1,600, and that turned out to be a little bit too high because like I didn't need 1,600. It was just going to be a nice security. Like it was going to be able to get a couple more things to sell at booths and a couple more things for the campaign and help out with shipping and all that. But it wasn't necessary. And in my first campaign ever, and me not having much of an audience or a mailing list and all that stuff, it just I just wasn't as prepared for 1,600 as I thought I was. The second one was 750, and I was able to meet that goal within a couple of days before it ended. And then the late pledges landed on pre-comic book day, so I got a good chunk out of that. This upcoming goal is 4,100.
Oh wow, okay. So definitely a jump between. Do you feel like you have your audience set up for that? Is that like the confidence there?
Well, here's the thing. You can swing, and if you miss, it's no big deal. So
I feel that.
Amen.
So I'm gonna swing for it, and like I said, I've pushed every button that I can find. I've tried to warm up my audience. I took the Comix launch course. I've taken about 8 months to prep my page and try to get followers on it. So I push it at every convention that I go to. So we'll just have to find out.
Okay. I mean, I love that, dude. You have to like really kind of experiment and see, one, have the confidence to try stuff out, but also kind of learn some lessons, but kind of just go into back, dude, what am I gonna lose? Like, uh, Reece had a campaign, like one that just didn't pan out well. It was super close, especially towards the end. And that when that happened, we were just like, we were surprised it missed first off because it was just by like a hair. But like then we went in and kind of reanalyzed and did it, and his reattempt like a few weeks later was super successful.
Mhm.
Sometimes like
Mine's
building up that audience like within it like benefits you too, because you'll gain back the backers from like your attempt at that point,
Yeah. I'm I don't want to have any negativity. I don't want to have like any doubts. But just in case, I can launch another campaign for issue 4 by itself. But this one is for the I'm trying to get a trade paperback for all
Oh,
4
cool.
and there's several different reasons. One is it's a much better price margin for mass printing, and then having a good chunk of the story for people to sink into, because it's not like it's not easy to go from issue to issue on this story. It's something that you want in big bites, and then shit, I lost my train of thought. Got lost in my textures here.
I feel that. That's dude, drawing and talking is one of the hardest skills to develop. I swear to God. It's taken Max and I like almost 2.5 years now.
Yeah, it's crazy. And even if you watch, like, it was funny because it was happening at OAX a lot. They're at their table drawing something, and they're also trying to talk to somebody who's looking through their art and sell them on a page or whatever. And it's funny watching them draw and talk because it's the same deal where you kind of like stumble through stuff. That's how it works. And you take like a breath just to like get a line down, and then you continue. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, there's no way I could do it at a convention. No way.
I'm not good at doing it at conventions. I'm too distracted, I feel.
Yeah.
I never had I did a book signing at a local comic shop, but I never did one at a convention before. Now that will be the big one for me.
That's exciting, dude. It's honestly like, it's one of those things. Like I love hearing that too, because it's there's so much excitement when you start. It doesn't like hurt yet. I feel.
Yeah.
Cons are great. Like cons will get you a lot of exposure. It is a little nerve wracking at first because you're trying to figure out, how to talk to people, how to pitch your book, how to like hold attention, and then you see what works and what doesn't work.
Yeah.
A lot of times.
It's experimental.
Yeah. I wanted to start a short segment for CWS called Table Talk, where we just just talk about like tabling experiences and advice, like a short little thing, because it's so different for everybody, and everyone has tabling stories. And Hobbs, dude, I tell so many people about that time that you told me about this tabling event where it was like at a bar, but you had to like pay to get into like that small little area, and it was just kind of brutal for you in general, and there was like a line for some stuff.
Yeah, it was not AC either, and it's like in the middle of the summer. Yeah, there's like equipment in the area, and then like we didn't even know that they were going to charge to get in, because we figured like that was the appeal. We're at a brewery, you're going to get foot traffic, and then when we heard that they were going to charge to get in, it was like, well, that's it. Like we're done for. Like no one's coming, and really nobody came.
Wasn't it like $20 or something ridiculous? Like,
it sounds about right. My wife's here too. She's helping me remember. She's also an artist, by the way. One of these days she'll have to come on too. But anyway, yeah. So we were both tabling there, and Jeremy, who you know, was also there, and we were it was rough, and but it's one of those things where I think there was miscommunication with the organizer and us. It was also just kind of, and this con had been run the year prior, and the specs were different. Like, it was free. It was in a better location. We weren't in the machine room, like there were a lot of things that were going for it. And it was actually, really positive. But then this time it was the complete opposite. And so, yeah, you just kind of roll with it because you don't want to just get up and leave. But at the same time, it's like, maybe I should have. I don't know.
They were like, it was successful. How do we make money off of this now?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it felt like. And I guess that's what kind of made it a little bit hard to swallow, is that the organizers did a really good job, and it felt like they were, had our best interests, and then it all wasn't like that.
That's rough. Super rough. Yeah, my blue line sketch underneath is like too light for me to trace over, which is lame.
Yeah, usually you don't lightbox blue line.
Dude, yeah, I don't know. I didn't bring a regular pencil with me when I did it, and then I did it, and I was like, this should work. But I forget I draw so soft, dude, and I'm just.
Well, you're supposed to just ink over the blue line and then get rid of it later.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I packed wrong. I was so prepared, yet I wasn't prepared. There were still some lessons. I need to just carry a regular pencil with me.
That's when you do digital.
Dude, straight up, I should have just.
Yes, you go to Reece route. Join the dark side.
I do adore using my my iPad to draw a whole lot more than I did like a year ago, per se. I do feel way more confident.
Oh man, I used to mess up so much when I first got my, because I was totally against it, and then once I started getting used to it, especially while I was doing my books, like once I started getting used to it, I was like, oh, okay, I can do this now, and I ain't gotta, worry about blue lines. It's like, okay, I can just do one layer, combine them together, and turn down the opacity and go back and just create what I want on top of it. So it became a lot easier to do. And I was like, okay, I started getting addicted to it, especially in Procreate.
Dude, yeah, that was the thing, was the layering aspect, where I could like do a quick sketch or like kind of be sloppy for a bit, or like, oh, I could do that better if I did it one more time, and then just kind of make it better and better slowly. I like that a lot. Because I kind of do a layer of blue line, and then I'll kind of still go over it with a pencil to kind of clean it up before I do inks.
Mm-hmm.
And using like a blue line on a digital is kind of a lot of fun. I liked what Austin was doing right there for what we saw for a quick preview. Like, that was really cool. Like how you have your blue lines under it, and you were just like kind of re-thickening up with your pencils.
Well, I'm trying to change back. Oh, hold on. I pulled up some complete pages to show how they turn out, but
oh, cool.
A little bit.
Ooh, that's so nice.
So yeah, I do a couple layers underneath. I have a let's see here. I have a template that I just have the safe area. So like I only have the safe area box.
Oh, nice.
Always on the template, so I know where dialogue needs to stay, and important art needs to stay within. And I usually just hug the panels really close to it, so you can see my hotkey little thing isn't working right now. It's not connecting to my Clip Studio, but you can see here on this corner, these are pretty close. This gutter's pretty So that way, I make
yeah.
all that important stuff stays in there.
So what drew you to doing mostly digital work?
Well, efficiency. I was doing traditional sketching, and I would turn over the page and do the other side, a tighter pencil, and then ink it. So I would have original art from it, and then I'd put it into Clip Studio and work on it from there. But it's just not malleable, or it's harder to be malleable. But it is fun and it is nice. I still sketch in my sketchbook to make sure that I still have that like traditional connection, that tactile feel, always on hand somehow.
I feel that. What about you, Brandon? Like, what was your draw? You know, especially as you're learning how to draw and trying to figure things out. What attracted you more towards the digital realm than traditional?
Well, at first, I was doing traditional. I didn't really think much of the digital things because I didn't have a tablet and I didn't have any experience with it. But my friend from Discord back in 2020, he convinced me that I should go digital. I was kind of hesitant because I thought I'll probably lose all of my the details into translation, and for a while it did, but after, once I rediscovered the, pro, man, it's kind of hard to explain. But once I discovered the process, yeah, it was starting to becoming natural for me.
Oh yeah.
And if you saw my works from 2 years ago, they wouldn't look that good. That's because I've been using shortcuts to doing digital digital art without even using the extra layers and all of that and the layer masking and stuff.
Dude, that's the biggest thing with like digital work for me too. I was just like trying to figure out the process behind all of it, that I could figure something out, and just like a workflow. Like I had figured it out pretty well with traditional stuff at that point, but entering the digital realm, I just felt so overwhelmed. Like at least here, like I don't know, my brain just like overcomplicated stuff. Like I I have like two pencils and I had like 3 pens, and I was like, well, these are my tools. And but then I used my iPad, and I'm like, I have so much. I want to know what it all does. And so it would just freak me out, man. And so now I'm glad I did. Like what I did for Inktober was kind of interesting. I like did all my pencils traditionally so that I could have something to like ink later, but I started inking them and putting them together digitally first. But I'm now like all my pages I do now, I touch them up digitally, which is still keeping me intact with both digital and physical realms. It's a balance. It all depends on the project and like what's needed. I did the pinup for Hobbs, and that was all digital completely, like no traditional at all. So that was a good challenge. It was a lot of fun. Plus, like when I like streaming is like way easier digitally. I can just plug in my stuff. I use OBS for my iPad, so I would just plug it in and just go straight to my computer, and it opens up instantly. So it would just be super easy for me to to stream that way.
Which, disclaimer, that's because he has an Apple computer. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
PC.
He's cheating.
Yeah.
He's cheating.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. Get that shortcut.
No, I'm all for it, man. I love my traditional. Don't get me wrong. Born and bred on it. Like ever since I was little, always could draw. So, When switching over to digital, like I said, after a few mistakes, I started getting used to the pen. I think that's the difference. Like
Yeah,
my
exactly.
yeah, my first screen protector and stuff I had on it was like just it was just solid plastic. On I remember my first iPad, it was like it had that solid plastic, so it didn't have that paper type of feel to it. And I still was trying to get used to the pen. It had a Generation 2 pen, so I was like, okay, this is gonna be a little easy. Ah, crap, I messed up. I had to keep going back. But then, as I progressed, I got like a different type of screen type on here. So now it feels like paper. It has that texture to the paper. And then I'm using the Generation 1 pen now on my iPad, which is a lot smoother. Even though the iPen Pro, awesome, totally awesome, man.
Oh, dude, that's crazy. I need to get the thing for my screen. I think that's gonna help me a little more. I have a little pin tip that helps a lot, but I think that screen protector would even bolster it a bit more.
Yeah, get one that has the glare reflector to it, the anti glare, and it
Oh
has
yeah.
the paper style to it, and that will help you out a whole lot. It's like a way smoother transition.
Ooh. That's tough. I finally got a new case for my iPad because I had a case that had a keyboard on it, and it was like bulky and
Mhm.
heavy. It was like I was a writer for my whole life, and so I don't even use my iPad to really write anymore. So I just like use it for pretty much just reading comics and drawing. But now I finally have something that I can just open it up and draw. Like before, it was like it was a whole thing. It was ridiculous.
Heck yeah, yeah.
Um,
I got. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, Max. Go ahead.
you're good. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to take a minute. I was going to talk a little bit more about my Kickstarter and go
Heck
back.
yeah, go ahead, bro. I'm with it.
Yeah. No, I'd love to talk about it.
All right. Um, so yeah, right now the pre-launch is up for Indie. Like I said, it's for the trade paperback. It's going to have all 4 issues in that trade, and then I'm also launching the issue number 4 by itself for several different reasons. One is there's a lot of fans that just have issues 1 through 3 already and wouldn't really want to get the whole volume. 2, it's a value add to the whole campaign because I've got for one, it'll complete the set of all the floppy comics for volume 1. And then 2, it's going to have a safe for work and not safe for work standard cover.
Possible.
So y'all can get in on that deal. And then there's going to be a variant cover that was done by my friend Jamie. And the variant covers are only 40. There's only ever going to be printed like 40 per variant cover, and that's just the tradition. I started with variant covers on my first campaign, and I'm just carrying it through. So they are spread out through a couple of tiers. So the regular variant cover tier is like 10, and then it's like 5 and like 4 other different tiers that you can get. But yeah, Indy is about the Demon King Belial being summoned into our world. She is then immediately forced to fight Archangel Michael, and she is defeated. She then makes a pact to live the life of a human, and she has to understand what it means to be human before she can be a demon again. So, yeah, that's basically the synopsis. The really short TLDR is hot demon girls fighting each other. Big demon or big angels with big swords. A lot of blood, a lot of action, very manga-esque, and yeah.
I love that so much. And you really worked on like your Substack. You've actually like you have your website set up so well. And also the link to the Kickstarter is in the bio if anyone wants to check it out as well. Ooh, Ian Tito says hi as well.
Ian, happy to have you here.
Always. Well, I like I know what you're saying about putting it as a trade as well. I was really trying to figure out how to put my book out recently, and like Max and I and my the artist we work with, Christian, we were on a call for with Eric, it was like for 30-40 minutes trying to figure out like a release schedule and plan. And because you could put out issue 1 and issue 1 will do well, but then issue 2 and 3 will kind of start to slow down even if you have an audience. And sometimes people just aren't even aware, they're just consumed with something and they just don't get caught up in your stuff for a bit. But I'm kind of thinking with like my book Teenage Babylon, we decided to kind of go along the route. And of course, this could change in the next couple of years, but we put out an ash can. It's black and white. That's what I've been using to promote stuff. And then for the last year or so to hype up like the series. And then we're going to put out issue 1 this September or August. And it's black and white as well. And it'll just be issue 1. And it's a pretty good issue 1 to get you like opened up to the series. But the way issue 2 and 3 came out, I felt like issue 2 is like a strong issue, but like trying to get them enticed to continue with into issue 3 and to see it grow, I just felt like it'd be a struggle. And then trying to do like a yearly or every 6 month Kickstarter is kind of draining. So we're doing issue 1 black and white this year. And then the next time we do a campaign, it's going to have basically issues 1 through 3 as part 1. And it's also going to be in color. So that way, those who picked up the black and white issue 1, it's still worth it for them to pick up the trade of everything. You're getting the fuller story, you're getting color, and you kind of already know what the first 20 pages are like.
Sounds like a pretty solid strat.
Sounds interesting.
We'll find out if it works. But yeah, it's so hard trying to make those decisions. Like you were saying too, it's all risk. Like it's all, let's see if this didn't work. Okay, well let's get up and try to do something else then.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah,
That's the good thing about Kickstarter. It's risk free, pretty much. I mean, you could get funded, and like that's actually, that's more pressure than not getting funded in a lot of ways.
And also, you have to deal with a lot of scammers on there too.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Yeah. Last time when back in 2024, I was trying to do my Kickstarter with my other manga series. Man, now there was a lot of people claiming to help me try to get these months backers, but man, they were scammers, man.
Yeah.
It's not fun.
Well, it's elevated to the point where I'm seeing scammers go from like, you get the typical people shooting you a message, and it's crazy. I have a lot of creators like will send me screenshots being like, "Hey, is this legit?" Like, and I'm like, "No, don't do that." Like, don't. But like, it happens to so many people, and you get so many of those messages. Sometimes a couple of them do seem like somewhat like convincing and real, and you're like, "Oh, maybe," but no, it's all. My camera just wigged out because my cat walked by. Sorry.
That's okay.
But now I'm seeing people like scammers that will actually go and back your campaign for like 100+. Like somebody backed like 1,500 on a campaign, and it was a scam, and that just blew my mind, dude. And I had access to that like Kickstarter account, and I was looking at it, and it was like a first backed, created in 2025. Like it was, you could just tell all the symptoms of a fake profile that's doing stuff, and that hurts, dude, when you get those type of backings, because you struggle and stress so hard trying to do a campaign just for it to be like, oh, well, thanks for ripping me off, dude.
Yeah, it's very disheartening. I think that happened to me last year when we first tried to do the first Deuces of Wild campaign at the beginning of the year, and like I was getting all these backers. I was like, yeah, I'm excited. I'm like, all right, we're fully funded. I'm like, yeah, it's cool. And then when the campaign got to be over with, they disappeared. And I was so mad. I was like, bro, you literally, because like the campaign was almost funded. So I was like, all right, cool. And then like they just like this person withdraw, this person withdraw. And it was like I had a big, I think it was like $100, $125. Like I was like, all right, I'm counting on that to get me over, and it just disappeared. I was like, you got to be kidding me, bro. I was just so mad.
That's the suck.
Yeah.
It's so brutal.
My last campaign, I got messaged by Tyler James, and if y'all are not familiar, he does this podcast called Comix Launch. But I'd never heard of him before and had never seen all that. And he was just requesting like, hey, I saw your campaign. If you want to come check out the podcast, you can leave a voicemail here and I will promote it on the podcast, blah, blah, blah. So I was kind of like, there's no way. This is such a scam. But I mean, I guess it's risk-free. I don't really see any problems with just doing the recording and seeing what happens. No, Tyler was legit. So not only did I was I able to submit that little promo for the podcast, but I also found a whole new resource in launching on Kickstarter.
So okay. I've always been curious about the Tyler James stuff. I've never done the voicemail thing, and I have a couple of friends who have. You're not probably the second or third person that I know that has tried it and found success. So what about it? Did you get more involved with him? Did you pay for anything? Because I know he has that $1,000 course thing he offers as well, which is a little bit different. And he also had that Kickstarter book, the crowdfunding, book, which I actually have. I should probably read it. I'm so curious. I hear so much about it.
Yeah.
What else do you think was beneficial about it? Give me all the tea. I need all the tea.
So the podcast that my promo was supposed to be in didn't do any promos. So usually it's not just yours. It's 10 people's promos at the end of a podcast. And at the end of the episode that I was supposed to be on, it wasn't there. He had no function for it. And I think that was an error that they did. So I can't attest to if the podcast can help with your. It certainly would. I didn't have to pay any money to start getting involved. Because the recording was free. He offered it. It's a permanent link that you can go to and submit a recording anytime. It just got me into his podcast. And so anything that I've ever invested in, I check out all the free stuff first. That's why my comic is free on my website. To read as a web comic. Because I wanted to have a little pre-investment before I put in actual dollars to kind of understand what was going on with this program. And I noticed that he had on a lot of prominent creators. They all were very happy with what they committed to. I was happy with the free knowledge that I was getting from the podcast. So after a few months of expending all that knowledge, I went ahead and signed up for the full course. And I'm gonna just have to see how that pans out for this upcoming campaign, see what happens. But as far as I can tell, it's everything in the course is very practical. It's not something that is ephemeral. It's very do this, and do that, and that should help. So I will see, but there's a lot. another thing is that it's connected me with other creators in the Facebook group.
Yeah, that's true too.
You get in on other creators. Actually, one of the best things is that he does 2 monthly meetings through Zoom. One of them is for like the monthly Kickstarter kind of reviews. He'll review your Kickstarter going. He'll do like a class and like more practical tips and stuff that you can jump in on, and you can interact and you can ask him questions directly. You can talk to the other creators that are there in Zoom, and it's great. And then the other meeting is like a list launch or like a list crowd or audience building class, and so you get that extra tidbit out of that as well. He has courses on doing like promos for an online store. He's got classes on doing better at conventions. So yeah, I actually didn't get into all the convention stuff until after I went through the Kickstarter part. So I haven't got to implement many of the convention things, but it did seem to help at the small event that I did the other weekend. But I got my first big convention coming up next month, and that's the launch day.
Okay. I know we have some other stuff scheduled with you and everything, so I'm gonna be super curious about the follow up on some of that. Like, because I always want to do better and try to give better advice and get good resources and everything. So he's always been around too, and I'm just like I don't want to do it and then like hate it. I want some success stories, But it sounds like it's working out for you though. That's super hype.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, you can his podcast is great just by itself. So you can kind of get in on creators that are in on it with him, and then you can and listen more to who he is as a person. And I wasn't as hesitant to do it because I already went through a similar situation in fitness. So back when I was doing a lot more invested in learning more about personal training and my own fitness goals and stuff like that, I ran into this guy on YouTube called Jeff Cavalier with the brand Athlean X. And so I didn't know what to think at first, and I just kind of took his advice that he did give for free and see if it worked. And when it did work, I went, okay, I'm going to invest in your programs. And it was probably one of the best things I ever did to learn how to better my fitness in just general knowledge, and huge like results for like pretty immediate, but just having a complete understanding came with that. And so I was like, I like what you're doing here on the podcast, Tyler. I like, I've heard the other creators and y'all, I've heard y'all talk shop on the podcast, and I've implemented some of these things, and it's working to a degree that I would expect it to work. So I'm going to invest on the course. So I haven't got to fully see if it's going to work, but I'm pretty confident it'll at least. I'm probably much better off than I would be otherwise not taking the course.
Yeah, I get that, and I mean it's good to be involved with stuff like that too. I really should be involved with bigger communities like that myself, because that Kickstarter landscape is always changing. crowdfunding is so difficult, and building an audience, like you don't learn stuff like that in school.
No.
You don't go, like even in like college classes. There's no course on like building your audience. When it's like that's kind of a vital thing to have success as a creator.
Yeah.
Like, and you don't realize that till it's like too late, pretty much. Or not too late, but like when you're starting off and you're just like, I wish I knew this knowledge, 6 months ago. That'd be cool.
Right.
Like if you enter this field with
Yeah.
it. I definitely will research some of that more. I know Sarah Cook and John O'Burke both have used their insight and their courses and whatnot, and so those are two like really trusted creators. I'm like, you know what? If you tried it out and you had success, like that's pretty sick. I trust your guidance. But oh wow, proud. And so like, where did American Demon Comics come from? Like, what got you to start making comics and art in general?
Well, I've always been interested in doing comic-like things. In third grade, I first made I did my first comic with my friend Kevin, and we made these stupid stick figure comics, and it was a lot of fun. That was one of my first experiences being like, I do this on my free time, and it's fun, and so I always kind of had an interest in doing that. And as I got older, I thought maybe I'd be like a storyboard artist, and then life just kind of was like, hey, you should be a graphic designer, and so it's like, I guess I got to be a graphic designer. And that's what I went to school for. And while I was in university, it took me a long time to get through school. I had an early child, and I had like an early divorce and all this junk. But eventually, I got to university back in 2019, and I submitted my first webtoon, and I was like, wow, that was fun. I have no reaction. There's nobody saying anything about it, but it was just such an intense power that I had to just basically do the YouTube equivalent of for a comic. So I started more regularly making webtoons, and while I was in college, I also started making like hot demon girls, and
Hot demon girl.
and all my any assignment that would kind of allow for that, I would do that. And I kind of had like an envy for artists that I strive to be, but I was like, how do I'm so envious of them, and envious of what they do, and of the time they get to do it. And so that was my first real character. It was I demonified Envy, and she became the webtoon character. And Envy is not the story I've always dreamed of telling, but it's still my baby. It's still it's my testing grounds of finding out where I am, and what I wanna do with all this, and what works, etc. So that when I get to projects that have always been like my dream project, I'll be very, very much more prepared to tackle it.
I feel that makes sense, especially with like figuring out art and styles and what you can do and what you have fun doing. Like that's kind of why I started doing the Stoner Wars book. Was like I just wanted something fun that I wanted to do, because I would never draw something I write. Like I would never draw a script I give Max or China or Evan or Christian at all. Like I feel like way too no way, dude. Like I'd be so intimidated to try to draw one of my scripts. But like I try to find something to be like, okay, like what can I do and where do I have fun, and let's just figure it out from there. Like if this works, let's just roll with that for a minute and let's maybe challenge ourselves on the next thing. Like, and so yeah, figuring that out, but also not getting stuck into something that you're like, oh, I started, I kind of just need to finish it now, and it kind of sucks.
I gotta get sidetracked whenever I make new manga series.
Yeah,
Especially
I don't want to get. I have other ideas that are still steadily coming. I'm like, no, you gotta finish Envy. You gotta like at least bring it to part 1. You know.
Yeah.
And then do.
yeah, it's pretty hard because there's a lot of interesting ideas to work with, but
Mhm.
you have to focus on one project at a time.
That's my problem too. I had a lot of I had a lot of artists to work with. Like I had a lot of good opportunities, and I had a lot of like ideas coming right out of college. And because like all these artists were like down to work with me and we worked stuff out, I was like, well, now I have 9 projects in the motion, and the last like 2 years have been like crippling in the sense of like I try to make progress on one, but then you look at something else and you're like, man, I haven't made any progress on this, and you make some progress on it, then you look at another thing, you're like, man, I haven't done anything. What am I? You kind of forget the
Mhm.
progress you make, you know what I mean? And even with that, like I've helped produce like 25 books, but I don't see it that way because my books really haven't come out that much. Like this year, I have like 3 books of my own, which is exciting. I'm super hyped for this to finally happen. And I have books that I've produced and created on my own, but like these are like my babies now coming out. The rest were like, oh well, let's put together this anthology. This is gonna bolster this. This will be towards this, and this can contribute to this. So it's different. I don't know. It's strange.
Well, everybody
Yeah.
has paths. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was going to add into that. Like, yeah, it's difficult to definitely be working on multiple projects at one time. You tend to get sidetracked because you want to work more on this one, and then you're like, well, I might get behind deadlines with that. So it's kind of like instead of time management. Like I know all of us, around the holiday season, we get to take some time off to ourselves. And that's when I really actually like I'll start doing my sketches and stuff. If I know I got multiple books to work on. Like this season, I got a lot of books to work on. So what I did during my off season, I sketched out most of my like the first issues or like the second issues of these books and put like a little demo together. So I'm like, okay, I know when the season kicks off, I'm not gonna have that type of time. So I have to take that downtime and use it to the best of my ability. But it does, man. It gets wild when the season kicks off. We all know this. Like you really don't have that type of time, So I take that little bit of downtime. It might be one page a week, or what I mean, like 2 pages a day, or something like that. But I sketch that stuff out, and it kind of helps a little bit when you're working on multiple projects.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah. Honestly, once con season really kicks in, and if you have, that's why I'm really trying to take this year low on conventions. So last year I've been kind of hard at it, and I'm tired. Tired.
Yeah. I'm excited and tired at the same time, man. I'm ready to get the convention season going, man. 2026 is going to be crazy. Um, is anybody else here going to Baltimore Con this year?
I'll probably be there for sure for CWS.
Yeah, that's going to be the Super Bowl, man.
That's good. That sounds far away from where I live at.
Oh, cool. I was just about to ask where you're based out of, Brandon. That's cool. That's yeah. There's a lot of cool stuff locally that you could probably hop in on too, Brandon. I gotta send you some links and resources. There's some cool tabling opportunities I bet you could try hitting up. It's also
Okay.
finding ones that are like cost efficient too. You know what I mean? Like
hmm
breaking the bank for a con is like kind of brutal sometimes.
Yeah. But it's necessary if you want to get your name out there, though.
Yeah, you take a few hits.
Victory favors the bold.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, I find a lot of success like locally too. Like finding your comic book shop, that's one of the best things. My local shop, Four Color Fantasies, does so much for me. I love them so much. Or libraries, dude. Libraries are always doing stuff. Or if you can help organize something at your library, I think that's a lot of really beneficial. Ooh, we have Miss Tila saying, "Hi, Big Brother Reece. What up?" She's enjoying the sketchwork guys. Very talented and gifted. Thank you so much.
Hey, what's up, to
Our victim. Thanks. That's why I like the idea of starting an anthology style title, so I could bounce around a bit in my content. Honestly, that's what I did. That's how I started off. Was like I put out the punk anthology and introduced Teenage Babylon, and then the next anthology we did introduced Fake or Death. That's the one that's getting kickstarted in May. Teenage Babylon's coming out September, and then the High Adventures of Weed Wizard and Bug Boy came out in one hitters. So I have all my projects come out in anthology of some sort. Plus, it helps me when you first work with an artist as a writer, it lets you test the grounds a little more instead of being like, let's do this 6-issue series or 24-issue book or 24-page book. You can kind of pace it out and be like, do we worked well together on this 4-pager? Like, how about we do that first, and then you could kind of marry into the idea of a longer series.
Mm-hmm.
That's something I wish I did was take time to do a one-shot, 24-page thing before I started in on this, because I initially thought that I would be able to finish this in about 3 years, and I'm in about 3 years now, and it's looking like maybe it's halfway done.
I feel that. Mm-hmm.
So I would definitely advise to younger me, hey, do make just a couple of one-shot things to figure out your writing and the process a little bit better.
Yeah, that's honestly I feel the same way. That's why when I started drawing and I started doing Stone Wars, every page is it's just one short. I'm just doing 1-page shorts just to get me to tell a small story in 1 page, but also just get me to okay, completed a page, that's an accomplishment. So I'm just starting off really small. But I'm gonna put them together into a little, this is page 8 or something. And I'm slow too. But it'll be a cool little zine for sure, a little 12-pager, 16-pager or something.
Yeah,
That's how Hood Boy is. Hood Boy is 20, it's black and white, 25 pages, and it's just something testing the waters with me and my friends when we were back in third, fourth grade. Me and a buddy of mine, Devon Bester, and Eddie Cool, we were all going to school and we used to come up with these funny characters. And Devon used to come up with the Hood Boy and the Bull and all these other little characters. So I was telling my son about it. He's like, Dad, we should go ahead and emphasize on that, after Deuce is a Wild. I was looking at something, just to broaden my horizons, so to speak. And we happened to find an old sketchbook with all the characters in it. I was like, ooh, let's see if I were to do a little story with this and see where it goes. So, and everybody liked it. It was a black and white book. It was going to be just a one-off, and it turned out, I got asked to do a sequel to it. So we're doing Hood Boy Chapter 2 later on this year, and it's going to be awesome.
That's hype. Hey, you never know what's going to work or pop up, you know what I mean? That's the cool part too. Honestly, the first comic I thought I'd ever make is probably the last story in my pipeline that will be made, honestly. And also, giving yourself some variety helps too. Because Teenage Babylon and Fake Your Death get real depressing. And I just have to think about stuff or go in directions where I'm like, man, this is just sad. And so like that's why I did the High Adventures of Weed Wizard and Bong Boy, because I just wanted to laugh, because it's the guy that turns everything into weed and a bouncing bong that skateboards. So
Ooh, I need to do a book like that.
I'm just like, how to do my own Adult Swim cartoon, like. But yeah, no, yeah, it's always interesting finding out. Like, I mean, like Brandon was saying in the beginning, like just understanding a process, dude. Like that's a whole ordeal, and you don't really know one until you start just get to work and figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I learned a lot about light boxing. I was hyped, and I used a blue line, and so that was rough. It took me way longer than it probably should have. It's kind of interesting seeing a page that's like half blue lined and half like lead pencil too.
Yeah.
But bouncing back to that Tyler James stuff, I think that's cool. I didn't realize how many courses they offered on some of that. I mean, that's stuff like that is also why I started making a Substack. And you do pretty well in yours. What do you do to maintain your Substack?
I don't know. Like, it's like Substack really works off of both systems that it has. So you have the posts system, and then you also have the notes system. And notes system works a lot like just a regular media. And like, so I'll do like an update, and sometimes they're hard to come by, but sometimes I just have stuff on the ready. I had like 2 or 3 weeks planned ahead for a little bit. I went on a ghost hunt. So that was 2 episodes.
Oh yeah.
Well, not episodes. That was 2 updates. Like hey, I got invited on this thing, and this is what I'm expecting, and I'll let you know how it goes. And then the next one was, okay, they released the video. Here's what we saw. This is what I think, and that's it. And in between that, like I said, my comic's a web comic, so that also is an update every, that's at least an update twice a month there. And then sometimes I just have thoughts. Like I did a post where I compared the Hellboy movie to Hellboy comic, because I had got done reading the comic not long ago. So once I do those posts, I can share them to the note system. And if I share them to the note system, I'm like, well, why not? I can share it to X and Facebook, and I can share the post out that way too, not just a mailing list.
Yeah, dude, I gotta do that more. I gotta just plan out my stuff more with that. I've started doing interviews so that at least I know I have one post go out a month now, and like that's probably gonna be my best attempt. I should have had one go out February. Never mind, I kind of suck. But I think that's gonna be the one way that might help me out. But you're right. Just finding stuff just to put content out. Like if you did like the ghost hunt, like I should do one when I go to a concert or when I do anything like a little event or something. Like that's easy material to use. I just haven't. That's smart.
And sometimes it's just an update, like on the pages, like here's a little sneak peek of my page. I was doing time lapse, but I somehow turned off time lapse, and
oh dang,
I don't know how to like automatically just have it time lapse stuff. But I also don't want it to time lapse every single episode, every single page. But that is something fun to also give out as an update.
I never thought about that. I guess it's just being like, okay, like, can this get turned into some sort of? I mean, it's annoying when you think of it that way, but it's also what we got to do as creators now. But like, how do I turn this into content to share to grow my audience? Like,
Yeah.
I think that's probably the hardest part about being a creator is that we have to become content creators no matter what. Like, it's more than just
Yeah.
our craft. You have to have the craft of content.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that.
Most of
Yeah,
my subscribers are from conventions. Like, I have a mailing list people can sign up for, so I just input them into my Substack subscribers when I get home. And so I really don't get like a whole ton of Substack organic subscribers, but I do Substack for that reason, is that it's, you know, it has a self-discovery kind of thing that trickles in people.
You know what? Yeah, that's smart. I started doing that with Kickstarter backers. I ask at the end on the survey, "Do you want to be part of our newsletter?" And when they hit yes, I'm just like, "Well, I got your email, and I'm going to use it now." So
Yeah.
that's how I've done it too. Like, that's how I started off with like 100 something subscribers on my Substack instantly because I was like, "You all backed my thing and said yes."
That's a brilliant idea, guys.
Yeah, dude. But I got to do it at con tables too. That's a missed opportunity for myself.
Yeah, I love conventions. They're hard. I have to like you have to be discerning because some of them aren't worth the time, and you gotta pick and choose. Like, if one does really well, I'll like try and be ready to do it again. And if one doesn't do very well, I just mark it off because
I feel that.
I love them, but I want them to be. I have kids that I have to kind of like that I have on the weekends, and if my weekend's taken up, that's a weekend without my kids. So it's like not only
There you go.
is it going to be not worth my time and product like being there, but I also got to weigh, is it worth trading some time with kids? So, but I love being at a convention, and I love standing and showing my stuff. I do get tired by the end of the day, but like if I could do it every other weekend, I would.
I feel that. It's always by Sunday. I'm just like, I hate this. I hate everyone. Don't talk to me. I don't want to be here, but like you're still hyped to be there. You know what I mean? Like I still like, I'm super fortunate and happy that I could do that type of stuff. Like I always try to remind myself that too. Like I love hearing the stage that like Brandon's at, because it's like, man, I got to remind myself of that, and that like how fortunate, like, and how cool it was to go to my first conventions and not just like bitch about it. Because I get so bitchy about convention so much. But they're fun. They're the best thing ever. Like, it's what we live for. It's going on tour without the whole band, and it's just like a way to show off your art and to connect with people, and like even see people that you never get to see. Like, I love going to shows, and then I meet people I got to have on Spillink or I've interviewed, and it's just such a cool way to be like, oh, dude, like we're both here. How exciting! No other reason would we ever come to the city or like find each other like this.
That sounds like fun.
It is, man. It'll come in waves too. You know what I mean? Like you'll have years where you con a lot. You'll have years where you just do it a couple times. But like, again, it's you got to find what's worth it for you. What's within your budget. There's always a con within a budget. You know, that's
Especially
it's obvious, man.
Especially when money is tight.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I feel that. Like, I feel that a lot this year. which is why I'm not doing a lot this year. But like, because it's more than just like table costs. It's hotel, it's food, or luckily maybe if you have someone you could crash with, that's always ideal. That's what I try to do. I try to just travel to cities where I'm like, can I crash on your couch for a weekend? Like, I'll be in and out. I'm gonna come home and shower, and that's it. Like you won't even know I'm here. I mean that typically works out, just to save some money, just to make it a little more worthwhile.
Yeah, definitely, man. But I mean, that's what we got in this business for, the ambience, though. It's like there's no greater feeling than seeing your codes and seeing like-minded people that you admire, or you heard about, or seen their artwork, and you're like, man, if I ever get to meet this person, then you go to a convention, you meet the person, like, oh man, we're in the same field, and then you get to share ideas, like that creative. Even though you're tired after a whole entire weekend of convention and seeing it, people, when you look at everything at the wide spectrum, at everything after everything's done and said, you're like, I'm so glad I'm in. It's the greatest feeling in the world.
Yeah, that sound. Dude, I mean, like New York and like San Diego, like destroy me, and I'm like, I did Baltimore and then New York, like back to back. Really, just a CWS, not even as like Apollo or anything. And it was just like I feel like I still haven't recovered from that. Like I was dead for 18 months. It was just so much. Because you get so caught up, and then you end up like staying out late, and you end up just if it's not for the city, it's for people you met, or just that artist lifestyle. It happens. Like it's crazy.
We are rock stars. Yes, we are. This is what we do.
But I mean, and you kind of want to enjoy yourself post con too, because like you either had a really good day or you had a really rough day. And that's those rough days are when you really just need to like, I'm gonna go have fun now. Like I'm just happy I'm here and get to be around like you said, these creators and artists, and you kind of get to meet some of your heroes sometimes, and that's always rad.
Heck yeah.
Like Max, like you were just at OAX. Was there anyone you got to see or meet that kind of like blew your mind? Like
yeah, I like, I don't know if it's necessarily like blew my mind, but like there were people there that I definitely knew were going to be there and that I wanted to talk to. And so like I got to talk to them, and that was awesome, and kind of what I expected it to be. And I also talked a little bit to Sean Watkins, who runs Athenium, and he was super nice, like way more nice than I thought he was going to be. Like I thought he was going to be nice, but he was super nice to talk to, and super welcoming, super stoked about the zine, and like genuinely seemed interested in what I wanted to do with comics. So that was really cool. But then also just like seeing David Finch sitting there, like doing his thing, constantly swamped at his table and like drawing the most amazing shit so fast was pretty incredible. And then there were just like people that I had never even heard of, or like just not interested in. And I got to talk to them, and they were super cool and super welcoming too. I hesitate to say that like I get starstruck, because I'm just like doing my thing and I'm proud of what I do.
I feel that.
And then
I don't get starstruck anymore. I feel that. I know what you mean there. Like you're kind of just excited.
Yeah, and the other thing too is like, honestly, like 99% of people, like of the people that other people look up to, I like don't know anything about. So
exactly.
Like, oh my god, that's John Romita Jr. and I'm like, cool.
Really, like
we go talk to the indie guy.
Yeah,
and, like,
no, I get that.
He's a cool guy, and like I admire everything that he's done, but I'm just not personally like a huge fan who's invested in that.
I feel that. No, totally.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
I think that's why it's so interesting having you like around and doing shows and whatnot. Like, because I mean, there's people that like I think are really exciting, and like even stuff where I'm just like, oh, Max would probably love this, and I'm like, you're really not. That's okay. All right, interesting. All right. It's kind of hilarious, especially in the field of comics. It's a different breed of comics. It's opened me up to a lot too, and to different styles because of what you've shown me as well, which is always great.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. I just like, somebody's there, not, with an empty table, right? You walk up to them because you have shit to hand out that you're trying to spread,
Yeah,
walk
you're
up
like,
to them and start a conversation because they're the ones that aren't busy, and sometimes they have the coolest stuff. Like I was,
yep.
Unfortunately, I don't remember this person's name, but I walked up to their table and they were totally empty. They were working on a painting. I started just asking questions, and then I was flipping through what they had on the table, and they had stuff from like the 80s and 90s that are like Xerox copies of like color keys for like X-Men books and stuff, and I'm like, what's all this shit? And I'm like asking about it because it's cool to like see this old process and how they worked on it. Like I would have thought that like probably 70 to 80% of that stuff is now gone and in a trash can, like
yeah
that it doesn't exist anymore. But it was just like a colorist guy, and that's his deal. He's been a colorist and a fine art painter, and that's his career. It's pretty cool. It's humble. It's
I feel that.
Yeah, it's surprising how many humble jobs and humble creators there are that have been around forever and just do their thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the thing too. Once you kind of get into that, being like, that's cool, and everyone's going to see your stuff, but I just want you to look at mine real fast because I'm a lot smaller. I know you're.
Yeah. Does anyone have a bucket list of like a creator or a writer like you want to meet at a con?
I used to. I and it's not to sound like douchey or anything, I swear to God, but like I've met like pretty much all of my heroes. I feel like all I need is like Matt Fraction and like Alan Moore. Like I've met like all my writer and artist heroes. I've had lunch with John Romita Jr. Like
Oh really?
Yeah, like I've hung out with them for
There?
a bit. And
Okay,
I don't know. I feel like
sure.
that's what I mean. Like I don't mean to like do that, but like I've like met Grant Morrison like 5 times and talked to him, and Donnie Cates and all of it. Mark Wade.
It's like all like comics is the one industry where everybody's accessible. You just go to the con that they're at, and you can literally hang out with them. Like it's.
Dude, I bumped into Grant Morrison just on the con floor, and I was just like, Grant, holy shit, like fucking. How are you? Like I don't know what to say right now. Like, and I used to kind of probably freak out, but like I've technically been in comics, like in the terms of like going to cons and meeting people and trying to like get in somehow for like 10 years now. Because like I didn't know how to make comics my first 8 years of podcasting, where I was like, I'm just gonna try to meet my heroes and get some sketches, and a comic is impossible to make. I can't do that, but I could like talk about them and spread the love of comics. And so like I've really only been making what year is it? 26, 3 years now. So I've been making comics for 3 years, but I've been trying to I've been within the comic realm for about 10. And that's when I was doing interviews and reviews and writing for websites and doing the podcast and going to cons and shit. Like that was like a different part of. I've bounced, I guess, in different industries. Now I'm in printing, which is interesting. But it's just finding a way in. Like you just got to find your way in somehow, whether you're creating or doing podcasts and interviews.
Most people like most people get their break in comics much later than other careers. There's people who start working and they're like 37, 45, and that's their like first break in comics, and they just like chill in the industry. It's pretty rare for somebody young to get in and be that successful. Like it's funny because like I would like in most recent times, like Danny Warren Johnson was like the young star, and he's not young. He's got like a family and like kids that are like grown and in school and like, you know, whatever that like, and that's when his break was, you know, like. So it's a long game. Or like one of the funniest moments from OAX was Zoe Thorogood winning the newcomer award.
Yeah.
And
Zoe's been
and
around
she-
for like 10 years, dude.
yeah, and literally Zoe was like, yeah, I first won my like first newcomer award in 2016, and that was like her award acceptance speech. It was like, I've been a newcomer for 10 years, but I guess that's what the industry is. So like, thank you so much.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, dude.
Awesome.
It's pretty
Crazy,
crazy.
right?
Yeah, it was funny.
I
And she
think
knew it,
that's
too.
why.
When I was at her table, she was you know, her agent or whatever it was like, hey, you know, we should go to that award show after. And she was like, oh, okay. You know, if I win the newcomer award, that's crazy because I've won it like every year for the past 8 years. And then we got to the award show, and there she was. It's like, okay, that's pretty funny.
Oh man.
Makes you think. Really makes you think.
Yeah. Well, and you know, like that's why you stay around. Is it's like the people that stick around that get stuff. You know, it's when you quit. That's when it's over because you quit.
Like,
You know,
you guys got to think, man. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was saying, you know, that's one of the things, dude. You gotta. It takes a lot. And I think that's why people recognize it. It takes a lot of grit to be in comics, dude. Like, it's a lot of work. You're never really off. You're. I mean, you know, Art Victim said here too, like a little while ago, like, you know, the artist has so many jobs: marketing, marketing network, content create, shipping, business management. We have to wear so many hats. And it's just like, that's the thing, dude. Like, it just stacks up more and more, and it doesn't get any easier. Like, a lot of people are freelance, so that means like, oh, you could have been doing a killer X-Men book, but like, I hope you have a gig lined up after that, because when that's done, you gotta start drawing again. Like, there's no breaks. There's no, you have to unless you're fortunate, you know, and you do you know, you create absolute Batman and shit, like. And then you get those royalties.
Right? Like Dragotta doing Absolute Batman is huge, especially for like the independent scene, you know, because it's not house style at all, and Nick Dragotta is an indie guy, right?
Yep.
But at the same time, you have Scott Snyder on there, who like is an ultra mega star who's done movies and shit, you know, like. So Absolute Batman it's almost. In a way, it's almost like an industry plant, you know. It's like,
yeah.
You're gonna pair the indie guy up with the super mega star, and that's the reason that it's successful, is because it's.
I mean, that's why Absolute Wonder Woman and Martian Manhunter is doing so good right now too. Like, the art is not house style; it's all unique stuff.
That's what happens when you give us indie guys a chance.
That's true. I mean, that was the whole point of the show too. When I was like, how can I process art better? You know, how do I like not? You know, I always felt like you had to be like McFarlane and Jim Lee and shit. And so it was really like when I was connecting with creators like Reece, where I was like, and you know, he gave me his book to edit, his very first book, and I was like, I wonder if I could take a hack at drawing. Like, this dude's doing some freestyling stuff, like no barriers. Like, there's definitely challenge and like crazy movements and shit going on. But I was like, this makes it look possible, seeing that in your hands, you know? But when you look like at a DC or Marvel book, you're kind of like, this feels insane. Like, it doesn't, like, the art is so rendered too to an insane point where you're like, I don't even know how to mimic that.
That's what I love about a lot of manga. When I look at it, I just take a close. All it takes is just like zooming in with your eyes, and you're just like, oh, this isn't as nice up close.
Hmm.
Huh.
So,
Very true, huh? When you really kind of just like go into something and be like, this is more lines than anything. Like you just have to just add some lines. That's what
It's
I
all
thought about one day. I was just,
composition, dude. It's composition, storytelling. It. Sorry, I got a
yeah,
text. It's composition, right? Making those black and white areas read super clearly, and then it's cinematic storytelling and knowing your shots. You know,
Exactly.
and if you can nail those two things, your style doesn't matter, your rendering doesn't matter. Because readers will understand what's happening, and then move on, right? And then it's like, because we are in the business of making comics, we have to figure out how they did that. And so rendering only gets you so far. 'Cause you could do the most photorealistic stuff and people won't care.
right.
yeah. It's very
I
true.
mean, if you want photorealistic, you can just take pictures.
Oh yeah, that too. Honestly, I started doing that more with some stuff. It's just like going off of like direct photo references and like analyzing things like that too. It's helping me with some lighting stuff.
Yeah, I watch a lot of me and Junior. We watch a lot of martial art movies, like the old school, like John Woo films. That's where our style comes from. Like John Woo meets X Men's '90 cartoons style, because you know, growing like being with my son, I get to show him a lot of the old school stuff I grew up on, and he shows me like a lot of new school anime that he deals with. So our two styles come together. And that's what creates the books that we have and the emotions we have. Because we watch a ton of martial arts movies all the time. So those action sequences have always been something that fascinated us. And I was like, well, how can we create that so when our fans look at that, like you not only understand the story, but the way we've written the story, the way the action scenes and the way the frames and panels are set up, everything kind of flows in just perfectly. And that's the beauty of the art of being independent, because we kind of don't have the restraints that the mainstreams have. We just go as we see, and we don't have to. We know Superman's weakness is kryptonite. Okay, well, what if one day you like, what? I ain't got to do kryptonite no more. I got hair mousse. That's gonna protect me. And and being an independent creator, you have that option where you can do that, and people are like, you know what, that might actually work today. It doesn't always have to be, and like you said, with absolute Batman, it doesn't always have to be uniform. You can change it up a little bit. I can go in the ring and dance a little bit.
Dude, yeah, honestly, and that's kind of what helped me free up my stuff too, because I was, learning how to draw, especially like live on air. You're just like, fuck, man, I'm trying to just like at least mimic this image or like figure something out. But like once I figured out how to just like let it happen, and whatever kind of comes out of my hand is what comes out of my hand. That's when I was like, oh crap! And now it's like kind of tightening up and getting better and whatnot. I feel like I felt this is probably the most confident I felt in a page in a bit. So it's like you just gotta let yourself do it. And you once I think because comics are so intimidating too, like looking at mainstream books and staring at Spawn and whatnot for so long, you're just like, that's just fucking hard. Uh, but like it seems like like all these dudes came out of the gate just with this ability and with these characters in mind and whatnot. When it's really not the case, like so much independent stuff, or especially from our creators we look up to, their independent stuff, they've had in their back pocket for 20 years. They're just barely getting to do it. I always think it's interesting when a creator's like, oh, I'm going to do independent stuff more. And I'm like, that's insane. You've only done Marvel and DC work. Like, that is a wild concept to me. Like, not being able to just do your own story for years because you're caught up with them.
Dude, that's what Mateo's doing
Yeah.
with Fourth Father. I mean, he's done like Black Science and like Nemesis and I wouldn't call that mainstream, but it's certainly not. It's not indie either.
Yeah,
And then
exactly.
now he's doing the Fourth Bother, which is like a total swing in the other direction from superheroes.
Dude, yeah, it's beautiful. Super beautiful.
And let's not forget. No, go ahead, Brandon.
Oh no, I'm just rambling. You go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, let's not forget, man, that Stan Lee was 40 years old before Marvel was born, and he was about to quit the game. If you look at the documentary, he was like, "Yeah, I was like 39, 40 years old, and I was like, you know what, I'm done with this." And he was gonna give it up, and his wife was like, "You know what, just do you." Like they asked you to come up with some characters. I think it was like Justice League or something DC had came up with. So his boss was like, "Hey, listen, you got to find something that's going to be amended to this." And he was like, "You know what? All right, I'm about to go out the door anyway. Yeah, let me give you Fantastic Four." And everybody loved it. All right, let me hit you with Spider-Man. And then, as you see, Marvel began. And it changed the game up, So, yeah, it happens with us, man. Us being, coming with, like you said, and I thank you, man. I'm very humble with what you said, man. You saw my work, and it got you to thinking, and that's extremely humble, man. Because I was just drawing comic book covers and fan art before this, and I had only been doing it for a few years. When I ran into Mark from Lesser Known Comics, and he gave me the opportunity to do Either Them or Us cover, and that's where I really began this. And if it hadn't been for him saying, "Hey, what you think about doing comics?" Who knows where I've been?
Dude, I feel that. I owe Mark everything. I owe Mark my whole career. That dude is why the punk anthology came about. Probably why I got this job at CWS. That dude's why I make comics too. That guy saved my life.
Yeah, likewise.
And it's kind of crazy how that bled through, because like Mark doing that for me led me to meet Max. And then Max and I, once we linked up, I said, "I'm never letting you go." And
Yeah.
I just kept Max with me forever. And then like now I get to do stuff like this. We're like, dude, we're giving Brandon Matthews his first podcast. You know what I mean? He's chilling with us.
Thanks.
Yeah.
It's all one of those things. It's you keep on giving back, and that's what's cool about comics, is that very much is for the most part, you know what I mean? You're always going to have a couple people in your way, but once you find a community and you start interacting and whatnot and being there, it's going to stick around. Like I've been talking to Austin, like in like chats and whatnot, like even on like just cross promotion and little collabing, and it's like that's great. Like we wouldn't have found each other if it wasn't for that Discord channel and these shows. So it's always a good thing. I love, like with CWS, I get to build communities and give some people a place to share their art and hopefully find more success too.
Heck yeah, man. This is an awesome platform for us independent, man, and going out there and getting our work out there. And we love that you guys give us the opportunity, man. Especially with companies. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, we don't need that encouragement sometimes, because that's the hard part. Like Greg is a great dude. I love Greg Diggs. That dude's always on the show. Once he started joining us, it's just always a ridiculous story whenever Greg comes on, dude. I'm just like, but also it keeps us, like a lot of us, disciplined. I haven't, I got to draw a little bit on my trip, but like. This is making me finish this page tonight. I haven't drawn really since last Thursday. Like sat down and focused on it. So, keeping each other disciplined in here keeps us accountable. Because that's the biggest thing, with comics too. Is like, man, this is all of our side gigs. Like none of us are doing this full time, so we all have to get through work and family and stuff like that, and then get to do our stuff.
Mm-hmm. I like it because it gives me practice on what to do at conventions, like to be able to talk and still, like you said, still be able to draw. It's an art form itself. because
Oh yeah,
like
right.
your attention's being drawn at the same time, and you're still like, yeah, okay, yeah, yeah, okay, yeah, and at the same time you're like, I gotta concentrate on this line.
Yeah, yeah. Straight up though. That's the hardest part. I'm doing that right now too, where I'm kind of mixing stuff up. But like that multitasking ability is wild.
Mhm.
Oh, Deborah was saying, Brandon, I'd love to hear. I'd love to hear you say that about Max. Oh yeah, Max is mine. I'm gonna get a T-shirt that says that Max is mine. But I don't know, and especially because comics are rough. Crowdfunding is rough.
Yeah,
Con,
it is.
yeah, it's and people want to support your stuff, and finances are tight on everybody. So like every little bit helps, and you understand when stuff is doesn't go certain ways. But like any sort of backers, like man, thank you for helping me bring this to life. Like it wouldn't be here without you, quite literally.
Yeah, I think a lot of times it's all about timing too. A lot of campaigns, like at the beginning of the season, everybody's just starting up, so you got a lot of people that get ready to go to the convention and stuff at the beginning of the season, and they really don't have it because, like, it's the beginning of the season. I haven't made anything yet. And then you get the middle of the season where everybody's kind of got a little bit bread. Like you said, we go to the Brooklyn cons, we go to San Francisco, and if you're lucky enough and fortunate enough to have a big weekend, then you can support other artists that's within
Yep.
your group or your field. And then as you get towards the end of the season, you still have that momentum, oh man, tongue tie, that momentum going. So it kind of helps you out a little bit, to it's like the end of the season. All right, I got one more Kickstarter I can fund. Let me go and fund this guy because he's done such an awesome job. He's been working at it, et cetera, et cetera. And I think it's always just all about timing. Like I found the success I think that we had with just about two last year. Well, the fail was like timing and a lot of things, a lot of different variables there. And then we came in the year, right time. Everybody has just enough space, and it's like kind of threaded the needle perfectly. And then I had Brandon and them just put together the right campaign for us, and everything just clicked at the same time. And within it, without even knowing it, I had already funded. I was on a podcast. I think I was doing like Two Dimensions podcast, and while in the middle of the podcast, Rook was like, "Hey, listen." Dom and Rook was doing the interview with me, and Rook was like, "Yeah, I'm about to go and do I'm about to go fund your project." He's like, "Oh snap, what?" I was like, "They shut us down." He was like, "Nah, you're funded, bro." I was like, "What? How? Who did it?" I was like, "Yo, that's crazy," and it's like a dream come true, and rest they say is history.
Dude, yeah, it's those funding moments are such good breakthroughs, man. Like you could like breathe a little better. It's always good to get more funds, you know what I mean? But at least you're just like, at least we made it. Like at least we got this. Like
Greatest feeling
and
ever.
and Austin, you said you were doing 4,100 for your next campaign.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. I feel like those numbers are achievable, especially the way you've been operating. I'm just so scared. I feel like I might be able to do that on a campaign. I'm just really scared to. I just it sounds like so much pressure.
Well, if I don't, it's no big deal. I'm gonna my plan. Like I said, my plan is just to relaunch issue 4 by itself, and it'll probably have the momentum still from the previous one. With a lot less demand on printing. So, um, which is, by the way, that's the I'm printing with Print Ninja to do the small trade paperback because it's going to be overseas offset. And then the issue number 4 by itself will be through you guys with Comix Wellspring.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, it depends how many copies you order at that point to make it like balance out and whatnot. But if you ever want to go over pricing, I could try to help you out with some stuff too. I know we're updating our pricing in the next month or two as well, with some new updates we're having. So that might also play into your favor.
If I hit some stretch goals, both books will be getting upgrades. So like, the standard cover, I'm gonna have so many pages, I might be able to make it a soft bound floppy comic instead of saddle stitch. So that's a stretch goal option. And then I might make the cover spot foil or something like that as another stretch goal.
Ooh, those are always fun. We do those a lot, honestly. Those do really well at cons sometimes too.
By the way, sometimes you got to double check your pages because I'd been looking at this page and only just noticed that I had to add in these horns just now for my character because I forgot to put the horns on her.
This page should be about done.
Oh, nice. Actually, I'm reaching my finishing point on mine too. Actually,
I'm on page 18.
Ooh.
I have one more panel to do after this. I just I'm finishing up the rain on the boots, which is shout out to everybody who does rain. Like this is the first time I'm doing rain in Deuces of Wild because my guy's in Japan right now, and I just realized it takes a lot to draw rain coming down on a character, man.
Dude, yeah,
I just do the decoration for the rain. It's easier for me. But I get what you're saying.
Yeah, no. Finding those shortcuts, man, that's what it's all about too.
Yeah, that's good advice.
Max made sure to always tell me dude, just make it the easiest way to do it, but that still works. He's like, pros cheat all the time. Don't.
Yeah, it's true.
Work smarter, not harder.
They have deadlines, man.
Absolutely.
We have like fake deadlines.
Well, with that, let's do a little roundtable to show off what we did. Tell us where we can find your links, and we'll wrap up tonight's show. Max, why don't you show off what you worked on tonight?
Yeah. Do you know what this is for?
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. So I'm trying to figure this out. I don't really know, but we'll go over that later. But I finished doing the inks for this, and I was too scared to do the colors. So this is a little strip about the small things in Catch a Can, like the little mushrooms. And then I did some spatter and some white on this strip.
Oof. That's
Yeah.
sick.
Ooh, alien.
And then I'm gonna need to rework some of these letters just because the spatter makes it messy. But
Oh yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. So it makes sense.
yeah, but yeah, I had fun. I got essentially 2 projects done and got to fool around. So pretty good.
Yeah,
day.
that's always a good night.
Please just go check out Gag. Order a copy. It's super cheap. It's $2.50 for a book, plus like $1 for shipping, which is really just a stamp. And it's over 60 pages of interviews, art, comics, and more. We got big boys like Eli Schwab and Sean Crystal in this book. And if you want issue 2, consider contributing something because all contributors get a free copy.
Sounds cool.
And the deadline for that is March 31st, and you can check all that out through my Instagram bio, or you can pick up a copy of issue 1 through murderofmagpies.org.
Love it. Love it so much.
That was a little clumsy at the end there, but it's fine.
No, it's so awesome too. It's such a good book. Honestly, I got my copy in, and it's a thick read for
It's
$5.
beefy.
So
There's a lot in there. Yeah.
beefy. Yes. Austin, why don't you show us what you worked on and tell us where to find your stuff as well?
I worked on this panel for a little bit, and I bounced back to the previous page and worked on the monster a little bit more.
Ooh.
So this is a soul eater in this world, and this is the demon Phoenix or Phoenix right here.
Oh, sick.
She's a marquee in the Goetia.
That looks incredible.
That's epic, dude.
Her hair's on fire. She's a fun design.
Oh man.
She kind of like shifts. So like in her first couple appearances, she's like she's in like medieval kind of knight stuff, and then her second appearance, she's a Native American because the Native Americans summoned her. And then now I have her as just kind of a lightly armored samurai. But yeah, it's a lot of fun, and I worked on the Soul Eater here. And Native American lore, they say the Soul Eater has a mane of arms, so it gets really, really frustrating to draw over and over and over, but I try to maintain dynamic arms and hands for this monster.
I feel that. You're like, this is so cool, but damn it.
But this is all part of MV in my world of demons, and you can check that out on Kickstarter right now. MV Chapter 4 or MV Issue 4. The pre-launch is up, and I've got a backer incentive or a follower incentive. If we hit 100 followers, I'll release I'll give all the backers a digital download NSFW print of Lust.
Oh, that's cool. Oh yeah.
I also believe I have her pulled up here. Yeah, that's her.
Great idea.
Day.
What's the name of your manga?
Envy.
Indeed. That's rad. That's real clever too. It's really sick. Dude, I can't wait to get you on the future shows. Like, this is so great meeting and talking to you tonight. It's great work. Super phenomenal. Love it so much. So thanks for joining us tonight.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
And our dude, Brandon Matthews. Oh, go on. My bad.
As you say, it was great getting to meet and hear you guys and get familiar with you guys. It takes me a while to warm up.
I feel that. I was real sleepy and really hungry when we started the stream today. That didn't help. I was like, and it took me like 30 minutes to come to life once we started talking. So I feel that. But yeah, always welcome. So excited that you came on. And it's, that's why I'm so glad this Discord is around, because getting people like you and Brandon Matthews on the show is such a pleasure. And it's probably would have been harder to get you on, otherwise. So thank you for being part of that community too. I'm going to pop up the Discord banner. So in case anyone wants to highlight that, you can join instantly while we talk to our dude, Brandon Matthews. Dude, what'd you work on tonight?
I was working on this.
Ooh.
This is my manga. You can see it?
Oh, wait, no. I hit the wrong screen. There we go. Let me switch this over here. Oh, can you? Oh, no. Yeah, that was Austin's work. My bad. Oh, no, it is yours. Let me switch this over. Maybe this was in. There we go.
You see it?
Epic. Yeah, we see it.
All right.
Wow.
This is where Apollo's about to transform into the full metal spectrum to battle these crazy alien birds. They're trying to hunt down the Astroman that's terrorizing the planet.
That's so sick. Dude, I love that's a cool, like, your line work and everything, like with the movements, really amazing.
Yeah, I'm trying to make my line art less messy. Let me show you another example of my comic.
Yeah.
My computer's a bit slow, so bear with me.
No, I feel that. So you use Clip Art Studio.
Yeah.
And it's all like on your desktop or laptop?
My laptop.
Oh, okay, cool.
Clip Studio is it's kind of iffy when it comes to performance though. But I'm working on there.
I feel that. Here, while you pull up that screen, we'll do the round table with Reece and Hobbs real fast. But we want to check that out once you get that up. Let me switch over here while you get that ready.
Okay.
Hobbs, let us know what you worked on tonight, man. You were doing some cool stuff.
So yeah, I painted a head. That's all.
It's all I did, man. That's insane.
And I'm thinking this was a terrible mistake.
Dude, yeah. This is 1 out of 4 characters, right?
Yeah. That was 2 hours, and I painted a head. Well, I painted the back too, but I mean it's hardly anything. So anyway, yeah. So I could talk a little bit about the 4 Color Fantasies. Fundraiser. So it was at the end of March, beginning of April. They launch a fundraiser to fund Winchester literacy, which is a fundraiser that helps people learn how to read. And so every year they give away to artists sketch covers, and different artists will do sketch covers, and then they're all auctioned off around beginning of April, end of March, and I think it goes for a month. It would be the beginning of April, and it ends on Free Comic Book Day. And so you got to get your bids in by Free Comic Book Day. So this is my contribution this year if I finish it. Otherwise, it'll be my contribution for next year. We'll see what happens. So that's what I'll be working on for at least the next week or two, I'm sure. So
man, sign up for as many Spilled Inks as you need to. Like, we will make you the extra guest if needed, so you get some work done.
Yeah, and I'm sorry that I was so quiet this time. But I mean, I was just trying to push through. There's so much, and you guys being around you guys inspires me, and I really appreciate being on, even if it's just to listen to you guys talk. It's been really helpful. I probably would have fallen asleep already on the couch if I hadn't been on the show. So thank you guys so much, and
Dude,
appreciate it.
I feel that, man. I know what you mean, 100%. I made some progress on this page thanks to everybody tonight. I totally feel that. Dude, I love that. We'll get you back on whenever you want, dude. Just let me know. And even if
sounds good.
Let's check out Brandon's work before you bounce to Reece real fast. God, this is sick. Cool stuff, man. I like your panel layouts.
Thank you.
Your lettering is really nice too.
Mm-hmm.
And this is one of the on the screen right here is one of the main villainous factions of the Triangulum, the Galaxy. This is Lilith, and this is her first mate, the Libby Donner, and her space and all female space pirates, the Scarlet Star troop.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah,
Dude, that's awesome. Hell yeah, man. I'm glad you showed that. We'll be excited to see more of this in your future streams too. Hell yeah.
I'm gonna steal my friend's quote that he gave for mine. This has a lot of dynamism.
Oh yeah.
It's very in your face and very like there's a lot of momentum going on. It's really nice.
I love it, dude. Great stuff, Brandon. Dude, yeah, phenomenal art, man. Oh yeah. Reece, dude, I know your camera was wigging out. What'd you work on? To give us some shout outs.
I know. I know. I mean, I know I'm going. Oh, snap. It did do it.
There we go. There we go.
All right. There we go. Okay, cool. So, yeah, man, I have had an awesome time with you guys. So I have been working on, like I said, a page from This Is a Wild. He's in Japan, been running through this rain. So hope the fans can see all this stuff, man. This is how I do. I don't know if you guys have ever seen me do a panel before, but I literally just go ham, man, and just start and just go in and keep going. It's been awesome working tonight. Like I said, this is my first time working on Rain for the character, for Charles's character. So a little bit of a challenge. Definitely a welcome back. Definitely a welcome back. But also, hold on. Let me give you guys a little quick because everybody doing a little side. So let me show you a little quick something for you fans. For the fans out there, this will be the next Deuces of Wild coming out there for you
Ooh.
guys. Yeah, yeah, we doing something nice out here.
Hell yeah,
So
Reese.
so yeah, we got and let me tell you, Deuces of Wild started out. It was only going to be like maybe 8 covers. I don't know if you guys can see this, but we're up to like 10, maybe 11 books right now. So just for Deuces of Wild alone, yeah, we are busy over here in the creation station, and I love my fans. Thank you guys for having me so much. Also, we are now going to be. You can follow me on Real Reese 1123 on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and we are also doing what else am I doing? Something else. Man, I can't remember. I'm doing so many things. but hey, I'll let you guys know later, man. But yeah, it's been fun, man. This is a nice kickoff to the season. So I'm having a lot of fun, and I thank you guys for giving me the opportunity.
Of course, man. Always love having you on. Always love for the chat, dude.
Eh,
It's always a good time with you, my guy. But let me show you guys
oh,
what I did tonight real fast. Oh my bad, Brandon. What was that?
um, this is actually the second. This is actually the cover for the second issue of Full Metal Spectre Blue.
Ooh,
It's completed, and it's on sale for on Comix.1 the
hell yeah.
for the print on demand beta thing. Both
Yeah.
the both the first issue and the second issue, and also there's another comic book that's available too. It's called The Outer Realms. It's the first issue. Hold
Love it,
on.
dude.
There
Yeah,
we
but
go.
Comics.1 is such a good platform that we're all getting. We're having some new announcements with them coming up real soon, too.
Yeah.
Outer Realms.
You like the cover?
Sick. Yeah, great cover, dude. Hell yeah.
Thank you.
Sick.
Um, my comic is also available to read on Global Comics as well. My
Nice.
my my indie comic um handle is Prime Star Mangaverse.
Oh yeah, I got everyone's links right below in the episode description too. So if anyone wants to follow um campaigns or social media profiles, everyone should be linked up in the episode description here too, which is super
Oh
exciting.
really? Where
Yeah.
is it?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
did
yeah.
the episode description once you click on the YouTube link, so it'll be up there. But cool, man.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I'll show you guys what I did before we do our last little sign off here. Just kind of wrapped up this page I've been working on for a week or two. I have that blue line where I started. Let me see if my thing will focus. There we go. And knocked out
That looks
all
incredible.
the pencils tonight.
Woohoo!
That was a lot of
Sweet.
fun.
That's a fun layout.
Thank you. Yeah, the layout was that's what took me the longest to figure out. I'm excited to start inking this up. You guys will probably see me on the stream doing that soon. I need to do one more page, and I need to do my sketch cover for 4 colors. So I am behind. I have a lot of stuff I need to work on. But
Yeah.
yeah. Well, that's it for tonight's show. Thank you all for coming on tonight. Thank you all for watching too. CWS has a lot of announcements coming out with our POD moving into the next stage and new additions. And keep an eye out for Inspired Inc. coming back Monday night. I have Brian McDonald, storytelling legend. I'm so hyped to talk about him. This is like the interview of the year for me. We also have Jesse Lonergan coming up. Manny Gomez with Adam Lema to talk about Relic Hunter 2, and Devin Wilcock coming on later this month. And then we'll be hitting Zelda award season in April, which will be great. And lots more announcements coming then. But other than that, thank you all so much for hanging. This has been a great night.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Later, guys.